What's going on, guys? So you may be a little surprised to hear my voice. I know it has been a while since I uploaded a commentary, and as you may have noticed, I don't have my usual intro at the beginning of this video. That's because I don't currently, with everything that's going on, more specifically and majorly my work schedule, I just do not have the time to produce videos anymore. That doesn't mean that I've fully stopped uploading videos. I'm actually hoping on making a comeback sometime going into next year. But right now, I don't have the time. Some of you brothers that I talk to behind the scenes, you know what's been going on with my work schedule, and I do appreciate you keeping that discreet just between us. I mean, it's fucking crazy. But all I will say is within the last, I'll say 4, maybe not even 5, maybe 4 months, I've had to make a few significant changes in the way I do business. And that's going to be ironic because it's going to speak to the premise of this video, which is in the title, which is a question that, based on some of the more recent experiences that I've been having, I am imposing not just on anyone, but I am imposing this question with the hopes of having someone who has experience in any type of courier service, from private courier, like what I was doing with my personal business, all the way up to major carriers like DHL. If you've had any experience in management in DOT or non-DOT transportation of goods or passengers, I need you to kind of help me on this. And that's really the only reason I'm making this video. Like I said, I'm hoping to make a comeback next year, or going into next year, but I'm not sure with the crazy shit that's going on with my schedule. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. We'll see. But so, longer story short, okay. Like I said, I was forced to make some very significant changes in the way I do business. So with these significant changes that I've been forced to make, my hand was kind of forced going over the summer. Let's just say I've gone from contracting my services out to working with and working for certain contractors. Okay, not going to say who those contractors are. But one of the contractors that I've been working with, they operate with a major carrier, okay? And more specifically, they're charged with doing something called last mile deliveries. And they have this one specific manager that they've put in charge of operations. Young 20-something-year-old kid, white dude. And he's my immediate contact. And he's charged with putting people on to, run loads, both rural routes and in-town routes in the central Illinois, in and around the central Illinois region, from here to Terre Haute, Indiana. Now, this guy was just promoted within the last few months because his predecessor, the contractor, this specific contractor, because right now I'm working for 3 different contractors. But this specific contractor, they fired his predecessor. Okay, I don't know what the situation was that brought about that issue. I don't know what caused it, but they fired him straight up. And then they promoted this guy. And so he wound up moving from where he was originally stationed in Terre Haute, Indiana, to this area. And now he's the chief operations manager for this specific contractor, and his bosses are the ones who oversee the operational logistics for this specific contractor. So it's like these companies, they contract out their services to a specific carrier, kind of like, I was contracting out my services as a private courier. And so whoever the manager is, he hires people under the name of the carrier, and then he answers to whoever is the logistics manager for that specific warehouse for that specific carrier. Now, he started hiring back in October, all the way back in October, when I first started working for this contractor. He started hiring back in October for something called peak season. And if you work any type of job that deals with really anything, okay, not just transportation, I mean retail, hotel, what do they call it, hospitality, even restaurant, you know that peak season is that time period between the end of Halloween and the day of Christmas, where a overriding majority of sales are made for these companies through all of these idiots rushing to send packages and presents off or go travel to see family and friends for the holidays. I think I read somewhere that, like, for example, Walmart, they make like a third of their profits just in that little tiny window of a time of like a 2 to 2.5 month time period during the time that they call peak season, which pretty much covers the final few holidays of the year. They make a third of their profit just within that time period, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and like right after Halloween going into November. Okay. So if you work for any company that deals with customer service, logistics, transportation, if you work in the airline industry, hotel, you're going to know and have some understanding of what peak season is and how important peak and how pivotal peak season is to these fucking companies. Okay. Because that's where they're going to make a bulk of their profits and their revenue. Okay. But with those profits and revenue comes a higher level of responsibility. Okay. And this higher level of responsibility includes the fact that a lot of management are tasked with the responsibility of putting on a large workforce to cover the peak season. Okay. Now, when hiring for peak season, it's obviously important that you not only have enough people. Okay. I mean, these people, they hire crazy. You can get a job with your eyes closed during peak season. Okay. It's not hard. But during peak season, it's not only important to have a large number of people in your a larger number of people in your workforce, as opposed to, like the regular parts of the year, not, non-peak season. But it's also important to ensure that you have a very reliable workforce, meaning people who will come to work, people who will do the job, do it right, okay, and won't give you a lot of problems. Because, especially if you're in middle management, okay, like this specific gentleman that I'm talking about, and he's not really even middle management. This guy is like lower management, okay, like he's just a step above, the people who actually go out and, drive the trucks around and drop shit off. Okay. So especially when you consider what happened to his predecessor, his job life is on the line at all times. Okay. And, so it would seem like these type of people at that level of management, they would make sure to, I can't say complete, very carefully, like somebody being, interviewed to become a special agent with the FBI or something, but use some degree of scrutiny when going through the hiring process for peak season. Because anybody will tell you, for all the pettiness and flakiness that these jackass companies and higher levels of management and corporate will give you as an employee or a lower level manager during regular months, okay, they will fucking multiply that times 10 during peak season if they don't get their little fucking way, okay, and it'll be the devil to pay. So it would seem like if you want to keep your job, if you want to make your bosses happy, you hire people that are not going to call off, not find every excuse not to come to work, not be trying to take vacations every other fucking week. You would hire a reliable workforce. But for some reason, one thing I've noticed in the last, I'll probably say 15 years, definitely. Well, more specifically, 10 years. But it started really happening about 15 years ago. Some even say 20 years ago. There's certain jobs that used to be not only predominantly male, but predominantly and specifically mature male, meaning usually guys that were in their late 20s to, their late 50s, some of whom had families, or maybe a pregnant expectant wife at home, or, they may have been single, but, they have a proven track record. And you'd go into these specific types of jobs, like the UPS, brown truck driver, for example. Just any of a multitude of different jobs that were responsible male dominated. In the last 20, 15, but definitely 10 years, there has been a transition, this weird, awkward fucking transition, where lower and middle management of a lot of these companies, whether they're contractors or whether they're direct personnel for these companies, they have been replacing the American workforce with something that I call the American Workfarce. And when I say the American Workfarce, what do I mean? Well, if you see the title and you see what's on the collage, it's pretty self-explanatory. These Pookies, these Boomqwuuqequas, these younger white and Mexican trash equivalent, pseudo Getonians that, like to come in and try to identify with black culture because they're rejected by their own tribe. Okay. I've noticed, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe it's always been like this, but like, for example, when I was working so many years ago for a certain major carrier, all the way back in my college years, trying to, get some tuition money for school, I do not recall at like doing stuff like package handling and shit like that was one thing. They'd have Pookie and Boomqwuuqequa there. But when it came to like logistical operations, running the trucks, dropping off customer packages, stuff that, once it leaves the processing facility, an overriding majority of those people, whether they were black, white, male, or female, were generally older. They were, family oriented, or they had some, proven track record as a dependable employee. But nowadays, what I have noticed, okay, and what is, especially given my current situation that will end soon, within the next month, I do expect to be going, transitioning back to my old ways, so to speak. But what has been aggravating me is that this specific manager took it upon himself, almost as if he's trying to follow in the path of his predecessor that got fired. He took it upon himself, as many managers do these days. He took it upon himself to literally hire everybody that he interviewed without vetting them, without looking at their employment history, without even trying to decide if they were capable of doing the job and if they even wanted to do the fucking job. This is what he did. This is what he did. This is a path that he chose. And so what happened was the team that he has now, that we work with, is like 90% Pookie and Boomqwuuqequa. Niggas that are all under the age of 30, most of them in their early to mid 20s. And I mean, they break the rules. One of these little motherfuckers, I personally witnessed him run a stop sign, run a red light. I personally witnessed him vape and smoke weed in a truck, which is a direct violation of DOT rules. We have another one that got caught with a firearm on the private property of this specific carrier. We have, these we have about 4 or 5 baby mama bitches. And these bitches are the ones who irk me the most. I'll explain that in a moment. But these bitches, there's one of them specifically who calls off. She's only scheduled 3 days a week. The bitch calls off once every goddamn week. I shit you not. Since she's been hired in October, this little Mexican dick worshipping fucking whore, she calls off once every fucking week that she's scheduled. And this is peak season. And the idea of this company, when they told him to hire, was to hire enough people to keep overtime down. So he has like 20 people, right? Like 3 times the amount that they'd have during regular season, right? But he's not vetting these people. Everybody else's crew in the warehouse has generally older, white and black and Latino males and a few females that look like they're either family oriented or they have proven track record of work experience. These are people with gray hairs. But this crew is the fucking hood crew. It's the ghetto crew. All these savages do is do the same stupid shit and talk about the same stupid shit that they do in their personal time, that they do on social media. I even had to tell one of these little stupid motherfuckers when they asked me this dumbass fucking question about why I don't ever talk. I told them in a polite way, because I don't want to start nothing. I said, this is such and such. It's not Facebook, okay? This is not social media. It's a job to make a living. I hope at some point, perhaps you can understand and appreciate that. Because I'm about twice your age. And maybe that's why I understand that and you don't. And every day that I wake up, because, I'm doing the same thing I was doing, as a private courier. I'm working 6 days a week. I'd work 7 if they let me. Because I have a specific plan and I know I'm not going to get it accomplished unless I work my ass off. Plus, I'm a workaholic anyway. But I come in today, and usually my manager, I'm the person in the building. Well, I'm the person on the crew that nobody talks to except my manager. And the reason why is because I intentionally have this demeanor that I don't want to be bothered with this fucking scum vermin that I'm forced to work alongside. Quite frankly, it aggravates me that I even have to be in the same building and breathe the same air as these monkeys. But it is what it is. So, you see to a T what David Carroll said you see on the job. Okay? Pookies acting like savages, doing dumb shit in the group chat on the Workforce Network, talking shit, the little whores. They're looking to see which guys are going to pay them attention. They're more interested in yapping it up with Pookie and this little trailer park Mexican reject motherfucker. They're more interested in chit-chatting it up with them than they're interested in coming to fucking work and doing their fucking job. Okay? It's really pathetic. It truly is. But, you see, the people, they break off into cliques, and then the little motherfuckers, they start to look at the females that are there that are all nothing but a bunch of little fucking hood rat hoes, most of them from Chicago, some of them from elsewhere, and the cliques of different guys, they start to sift through and try to decide to divide and conquer, depending on which female they think is more of a hoe, and then they'll work on the one that's maybe a little less of a hoe, and before you know it, they're in the workforce network chat talking about who's going out to club and party with who. And you had these little black bitches that already got 2 and 3 bastard children at home. They're on the other side from Pookie, the ones that already got knocked up from Pookie. They don't want to talk to Pookie, so they don't hang out with the Pookie clique. They all off in the cut because guys like me got their bitch ass on ignore. And this one little fucking trailer park Mexican motherfucker, he sees his opportunity, to move in for the kill and see whose panties are loose. So he moves in to talk to the little bitches that don't want to deal with Pookie, and they're just smiling ear to ear. And so, it's like David Carroll said, you stand back, you smoke a cigar, just stand off in the cut like we do and just observe, on the loading docks before it's time to go out and about. And you can easily see, who's fucking who's about to fuck who's a lazy do nothing motherfucker that's only there, probably because their welfare benefits require them to have a part-time job. You can tell what's going on, okay? And it just is what it is. It's not surprising. It's something that we've discussed and that we know happens everywhere these fucking savages are. But today something very strange happened. What happened today was that my manager, who normally, unless we're talking about something business related, he decided that he wanted to chit chat with me. I guess something was really bugging him. And he started to tell me about this one specific biatch that I actually earlier last month he sent me and her out to North Carolina to pick up some new trucks for the company. And we carried them all the way back here. I didn't ignore it. Those of you brothers, I showed y'all I showed y'all proof of the receipts, the airplane ticket, the fucking chat, the fucking text and everything. So you brothers behind the scenes, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't ignore that hoe from North Carolina all the way back, and she was mad about it too. But he told me that this very same bitch that I went to North Carolina with, she called him and told him in the middle of running a load today that her son at home had hit his head. So she had to stop everything that she was doing, running the deliveries, and come all the way back to the warehouse. And this is fucking pathetic. And she literally had to abandon her delivery route that day so she could go take care of her son. Now, here's the deal. If it's an emergency, it's an emergency. But here's where the problem comes into play. This very same biatch, this very same baby mama that claimed something happened to her son was in the workforce chat not 2 days ago asking the boss for a whole week off so she could go on some stupid ass vacation to Jamaica and then Miami, which he denied. He said that company policy was that there is no time off requests honored during peak season, because the reason why they hired your bitch ass part-time, okay, was to ensure that they had all the spots filled to fulfill peak season. Yet here she is. She doesn't get the time off that she wants. So now she's claiming 2 days later that her son hit his head. But this is the same biatch that every chance she gets, it's always something. I have a hair appointment in Chicago. Y'all ought to see. I'm not going to reveal these messages because, you never know who's watching. But I showed some of you brothers behind the scenes the stupid shit that I got to put up with on a daily basis now, which thankfully will soon come to a fucking end. And y'all, those of you in behind the scenes, y'all know why it's going to come to an end. But, subjecting myself to this, was a very difficult choice, but it was something that had to be done at the moment. But you had this bitch calling off. And then she's abandoning her route. So somebody else has to come in and pick up where she left off. And that person has to come off of a truck that was running a bigger 2-man load. So now that crew that was running a 2-man load is now a 1-man load because that other driver has to come and, finish her route for her. And then you have, like I said, a bitch that's more interested in getting attention from this fucking dirty trailer park reject fucking Mexican than she is doing her fucking actual fucking job. Okay? It's beyond fucking pathetic. Okay? But it is what it is. She calls off once a fucking week. You have another bitch. She's called off in the time since she's been working. She has literally called off at least 4 times since she started working with us back in October. And that's only the times that I've been counting. And yet somehow lower management is allowing this to continue, even though he knows that his job might be at stake. And, I'm looking at this white boy that's the manager, and I'm just thinking to myself, you seem like a good guy, a capable person, but the decisions that you made to hire these whores is just fucking retarded. What the fuck did you think was going to happen when you hired a bunch of baby mama bitches that are more interested in posting fucking Instagram photos and making Facebook posts and going to the club and getting attention from the male dicks in the fucking building than actually doing their fucking job? What the fuck did you think was going to happen when you hired Boomqwuqequa and my god Pookie? Are you trying to ruin your career? And see, that, he knew what happened. He won't tell anybody, but he knows what happened to his predecessor. And I'm looking around the building and I'm seeing that this is the only ghetto crew. Every other contractor seems to have gotten it right. You hire people, predominantly men that are middle-aged, between their mid-30s to their mid-40s, that are not only physically capable of doing the job, but willing to do the job. Now, you have some bitches that do run their loads in a timely fashion. But that's only on the days when they decide to work. They will call off 2 or 3 days a goddamn week, which is funny because they're only getting 2 or 3 days a goddamn week. Yet he won't fire him. He's scared to fire him because this is peak season. And now he has to stick. He'd already told us this is the crew we're going to stick with for peak. But it's like, dude, these bitches that you should have never hired that look like lazy motherfuckers. I mean, literally, dude, during the training phase, there were 2 of these motherfucking bitches, a dark-skinned one and a light-skinned one, that did nothing but stand on the fucking docks while everybody else was loading their fucking truck or helping somebody load. Stand on the fucking docks twiddling their fucking thumbs. They will stand there for an hour and a fucking half and watch everybody else work. And one of the bitches even had the nerve to come over and where I was standing and working, look at me and say hello. I said, hi, are you bored? Since you want to say hi, we're on something. I was thinking to myself, I just asked the bitch if she was bored. But what I was really asking was, are you fucking slow? Do you not know that this is a work site? You're on the clock and you're supposed to be helping people load? Do you not know, even though you're in training? Why are you just standing around with your fucking hands in your fucking pockets? Why are you not doing your fucking job? Yet somehow they get away with this. And so he's telling me this story about how this bitch who claimed her illegitimate child hit his head has completely fucked him and fucked up his plans. Because, when I got back from doing what I had to do, this specific boss, he was, his hair was slicked back. He looked like he had came back to the facility to deal with this problem, but he had earlier left. And he told me how, he had been planning to go out with some of his friends drinking, but he couldn't now because Boomqwuqequa fucked up all his plans by not finishing her fucking route. And I told him straight up. I said, listen, bro, listen. You put yourself in this situation, okay? I mean, I didn't say it, like he's not my superior, but I said it, the way Brian Solange do, kind of, politically, as politically correct as I could. I told him you might want to vet the people that you hire, okay? This is a very physically demanding job, okay? It's a fast-paced job. You can't just hire any little hoodlet. Now, there are some hood rats that will come in and actually work, but they are far and few in between. These bitches, you can see, little lazy motherfuckers, you can see it in their eyes. They don't want to work. They will stand there and talk and yip-yap it up with Pookie and Dirty Mexican and God knows who fucking else. And then they're getting baby loads in a lot of cases compared to everybody else. And will stand there in their fake eyelashes and do nothing all fucking day but twiddle their fucking thumbs and find every excuse in the book to call off or not finish their fucking work, which increases the workload on everybody else. It's pure fucking stupidity. And when I got done having this conversation with this manager, through all the aggravation, of being back in an environment that I really don't want to be around amongst niggers, I couldn't help but pose the question inside of my head. And I'm asking this of those of you who have been in positions of management, not just managing yourself as an entrepreneur like I have, but, actually running a team as a lower or middle manager. What the fuck happened to the American workforce? No, seriously. What in the last 20 years, but definitely the last 10 to 15 years, what the fuck happened to the American workforce? I don't have a problem with women working physically demanding blue-collar jobs. What I have a problem with is all this SJW, politically correct, feminist, extremist bullshit, where people who should know better put these ignorant little lazy-ass fucking whores that do more work with their fucking used up vaginas and mouths and lips than they do with their fucking hands. Why do they keep hiring these fucking cunts, these fucking cunt traps that don't even want to fucking work? Why? You tell me why. Maybe I'm just, and when I stand on the docks and I see these cliques break off, before everybody goes out and does what they got to do. And I stand there with my hands, tucked inside my pockets. I ask myself, what in the fuck are these companies actually achieving by assembling and continuing to use a workforce, half of which that doesn't want to work? Why would you hire somebody and keep somebody on that's calling off 2 and 3 days a fucking week? People say that it's hard to find good help, but you know what? That's bullshit. And Starbucks, and to some extent Chick-fil-A and other companies that actually take their customers seriously, have proven this. See, what I think it is that a lot of these crooked ass companies, they don't want to hire people who are going to form or already are in unions and are going to, after, a couple of years, they're going to demand higher pay and better benefits. They're going to threaten to go on strike, so they could come to some type of an agreement. That's why a lot of these bitch ass companies are working with these contractors. Okay. You slap our logo on the shit. Okay. And so you hire some personnel and they work under our logo, but they don't work directly for us. Okay. So we don't owe them shit. That's between you and them. See? And oh, by the way, this is all you getting. You ain't getting no benefits, nothing. This is the only pay that you're getting. We might let you sign up for some bullshit ass third party, second rate, dental or medical insurance plan and then take the shit out your check. But other than that, you ain't got nothing coming from us. See, I think that's what's really happening. They don't want to pay the American working man what he knows he's worth. So to avoid unions, a lot of these punk ass companies are using these contractors. And these contractors that are basically just trying to fill, positions. They're just trying to put asses in seats. They literally are hiring anybody. Also to not only to appease their employee quotas, but to, make sure that they're kind of in line with the times of all this SJW social justice warrior bullshit, because they're afraid of looking too masculine or too like a company that actually takes its operations seriously and looks like something that American companies used to look like, which used to resemble and symbolize pride in the American working class. The American working man and the American job was actually once a global symbol that signified the success of the United States and a large part of what made America great, as the Trump nut huggers like to talk about. But these days, it's a fucking joke. They'll put any one of these little weave-headed stinky footers in a fucking position that she's either not capable of doing, or even if she is capable of doing it, she doesn't want to do it. And then turn around and complain when the lazy black bitch or other bitch that you put in that position won't do the fucking job. What the fuck is wrong with you? So, please, Man, again, guys, I'm 38 years old. That's another thing I told my boss, you're even younger than me. Maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe I'm the stupid one. Maybe I'm not in line with the times. Maybe hiring a bunch of lazy baby mama sluts that are more interested in, what little pookie or non-black dude on the job wants to pipe them down and actually the job itself. Maybe that's the end thing to do now. Okay? But somebody help me understand what in the holy fuck has happened. I mean, these bitches went from flipping burgers in the hood to working jobs that I've seen these little stupid ass bitches on YouTube. Little skinny ass crackhead looking bitch running her mouth a mile a second talking about how she abandoned a fucking 18-wheeler rig on the side of a fucking highway. And I'm thinking, what fuck stick? Some of y'all have seen the video, it went viral on TikTok. This little stupid four-eyed black slut that literally got mad that her employer fired her probably because she wasn't doing her fucking job. So she abandoned the fucking truck, this 18-wheeler on the highway. And I'm just looking at this bitch the whole time. I'm not saying that every man is capable of doing a job. Because a lot of them get fired and they're no good at their job either. But I'm looking at this little pipsqueak mile a second millie mouth bitch, and I'm saying, wait a second. Okay, CDL or no CDL? What trucking company in their right mind would hire this fucking little skinny rat ass looking hood trash black bitch to run loads on an 18-wheeler interstate? What has happened? I mean, you even look, I spoke with one of you brothers that, has significant military service. And we're talking about all these fucking whores in the military, including those that, are getting promoted to like officer ranks specifically in the army. And these bitches, we're not just talking about black bitches or just women, soldiers. These are straight hood hoes. The fake eyelashing, the twerking. They had one of these dumbass bitches deployed, I think, in Iraq. She was in a Jeep fucking twerking. These motherfuckers are surrounded by insurgents. They could roll over a goddamn IED and this bitch is in the motherfucking Humvee twerking. What the military? What the fuck is going on, dude? It's like the Twilight Zone in reverse. What, dude? Maybe I'm the stupid one. What in the holy fuck is going on nowadays? Where did this shit come from? It's like, okay, we know how these little lazy, good-for-nothing whores, and again, I just want to say this, okay? You know I don't give a fuck about none of these hoes, okay? I've silently communicated to everyone in that building. Nobody fucks with me because they know I don't fuck with them. I don't even want to breathe the same air as you motherfuckers. So don't say nothing to me. Fuck you. Okay? I'm here for a check and that's it. But I will cautiously acknowledge that I have observed and I am fully aware that there are real women that, black, white, and everything in between, that can come to a job, almost any job, and do it as well as a man. Okay? And be as responsible as most men are on the job. Okay? So I don't want anybody thinking that I'm talking about all females. I'm specifically talking about the under 30 and sometimes under 40 crew of insta-thought bitches that have bastard children all over the place, are on welfare, figure out a way to go on vacation to some exotic place every other fucking month, and are more interested in getting attention on and off the job than they are actually working a fucking job and making a living for themselves. All these bitches are about is dick and drama. Yet somehow these specific bitches that ain't about nothing, don't want to work. It don't matter whether you're talking about Walmart or fucking McDonald's. It doesn't matter. They don't want to work because they're a bunch of lazy, narcissistic, self-entitled fucking cunt traps. They're used to some fucking simp kissing their fucking ass. And now the management at the lower and middle level is basically doing just that. And I'm talking about a lot of these white managers. They're kissing these lazy, good-for-nothing black bitches' asses. Instead of either firing them or just not hiring them in the first goddamn place. Because they're not worthy of having the positions that they're receiving. Why is this happening? Why are they employing a workforce? You know, that's why I laugh at these ignorant Trump nut-hugging redneck hillbillies that are complaining about the migrants coming to take your job. Stupid ass fool. Number one, most of these migrants are not skilled enough to get, the jobs that you're complaining about. Number two, the jobs that they do get, you don't want to work. And number three, the jobs that they get, they actually work. I'm not worried about no fucking Mexican coming from Mexico as an illegal alien and taking a job, because I know more than likely that's a job that I'm not going to be working. What I'm worried about, you want to talk about migrants? Let's talk about hood rats, okay? They're the real threat to the American workforce, okay? Let's not pretend like these bitches come in and do a job and make things better. All they do is create drama and unnecessary fucking problems because they don't want to fucking work, half-ass do their work, or disrespect fucking customers. Why are they hired? Okay, you gotta fulfill an EEOC quota. Okay, hire one or two of them bitches and give them a desk job somewhere. Keep them out of the way of things that are vital and important. Okay, like logistics, like transportation. Why put them in a position where they don't even want to fucking work? Or at least test them to vet the ones that actually do want to work. Instead of just putting them all in there, allowing them to fuck up, keep fucking up, fuck you up, and then you don't do anything about it but come to somebody who it has no power to do anything about it and complain. Why are you hiring them, motherfucker? Why? Just to say, we're an equal opportunity employer. We hire beautiful black queens too. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why? Jesus. Somebody, please, help me. Help me on this. If you're a manager, do you hire these hoes? And if you do, why? Tell me why. I don't even want to know anymore what color dick these bitches are putting in their mouth. I don't want to know what they're doing at home with their little misraising and abusing their little bastard children. I don't want to know any of that shit. Soon enough, okay, and I mean soon, I'm not going to be anywhere near, motherfucker, you're going to need a 1,000-mile ruler stick. Okay, that's reaching. You're going to need a 500-mile ruler stick to get anywhere close to me. Because I'm about to, once and for all, my plan is going to come to fruition. I'm about to once and for all cut myself off from all of these motherfuckers. Okay? And I won't even come back to the Midwest to die. So I could give a fuck. But, once again, the question has to be fucking asked. Why assemble and operate a workforce that doesn't want to work, is not capable of fulfilling the tasks that you need them to fulfill? Why? What is the purpose of this? I don't understand the end goal. What is the end goal of these companies and these corporations and even these government agencies and entities like even the U.S. fucking military? What is the purpose okay, of hiring a bunch of fucking and recruiting a bunch of fucking whores that can't do the job or aren't as capable of doing the job as a man, or even a more mature woman. What is the purpose? Israel found out the hard way when Hamas came over the border and kicked their fucking ass how good a female soldier is gonna do in a fucking gun battle with a fucking bloodthirsty fucking raghead that wants to cut your fucking head off. They found out the hard way. They too pussy to go into fucking Gaza with fucking ground troops and go into those tunnels, so they just keep dropping bombs on every fucking thing. And they definitely not sending no fucking females down in those fucking tunnels. Those are men going down there. The few that are going down, the special forces, those are males going down there. Because a woman can't get the fucking job done. Okay? Facts. Facts. So why the fuck is half your fucking military force female, and young female at that? What, just because you think it's cute? Yeah, you think it's cute now, motherfucker? After October 7th? I don't mean to venture all off, but I'm just saying, bro, why is this happening? Not just here, but in other parts of the world too. Why? This isn't even sexism. It's realism. What the fuck is going on? Again, am I the only sane one? Or am I just the slow one of the bunch? Somebody with management experience, explain to me what the fuck is going on. Why is this happening? Thank you so much for listening, guys. Hopefully, at some point, I'll get a pause in the madness. But with the way these fucking bitches call off, probably not. Hopefully, somewhere, I'll get a pause in the madness over the next month to release some more shit. But that remains to be seen. Thanks so much for listening, and talk to you later, guys.